to a degree because yeah, you could be paranoid, you know what I mean? And so therefore like your freedom will lead you into rebellion. Absolutely.
Mhm.
You
Yes, it
know?
will. Just like it works kind of the opposite as well, too, right?
Yes,
People will
absolutely.
literally they will imprison themselves. They would definitely imprison themselves for sure.
It goes back to just thought that I had. I don't know if it was a saying out here. I'm pretty sure somebody made the quote though, but oftentimes the most righteous movements in the whole entire world turned out to be the most evil.
Yes, they do.
Take it how you will, grain of salt.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was all smiles yesterday, man. It was a good day yesterday.
Yeah. I had like a kind of a rough time yesterday with the intake manifold and everything. But it really wasn't a rough time with that. It was finding the gasket. For some reason, it just wasn't anywhere. I finally found one, though. I got to go pick it up today.
Model must have been that specific.
Yeah, well, it's a 3.8 liter. Um, and I think it's the CXL. And yeah, it was just I found one for like double the price that I could have went and bought. I was like, the hell with that, I'll just wait till tomorrow.
Sometimes it be like that. You gotta seize the opportunity while it's there. Worth it though, right?
We finally got the live going to the YouTube. Oh yeah, I gotta send them the link. All right, give me just a second. Huh?
Already.
Nathan. Boom.
What's going on?
What's going on? What's up, man? I made you a co-host too, so like if you need to share your screen and all that, we can. Let's give it just a couple of minutes. Getting the rest of this shit set up, and then I'm gonna give Josh and Naeem a couple of minutes to join us.
All right, yeah, because I'm on lunch right now, so it's almost over.
Right. Okay. Well.
So, you want me to get started, or you need a
Yeah.
few
Yeah. Go ahead.
minutes?
Go ahead. Yeah. If you want to go ahead
All
and get
right,
started while I'm just finishing this up, that's fine.
all right. So, basically, I've been talking to the guy from Infinite Potential Token,
Right.
and let me share my screen. So, I've been talking to the dude from Infinite Potential Token about doing a wealth wave partnership. And so we've already set the pool's already set up on Tiny Man. We're talking about Chris is going to see about maybe a CompX farm, and I'm looking into algo.fun. We're gonna set these farms up with uh, basically wave reward tokens. Now then, the cool thing about IPT is they have a private thing on X, and there's all these different partnerships that they've already got. So they've got a huge he's got a huge following already, especially on Algorand. I mean, I know of at least 10 or 15 different projects. And so the goal is uh, to get in with IPT. And what's cool about this token is they have already burned 7% of their liquidity. So right here, 6.87. It's now 7%. So it's going from a 10 million token supply to a 9 million token supply. And the creator, as well as myself, believe that this token should go to a nickel this run. And it's a pretty good project, a big opportunity. The dude is really savvy as far as setting managing liquidity pools and stuff like that. I've actually learned quite a bit from him. So another thing that me and Chris are talking about doing is doing a token liquidity giveaway. Let's say uh, you've got some IPT tokens, and you're willing to match them into liquidity pools. So we're going to do like a little, like, I don't know, $5 giveaway for round one. And then round two would be like a 5 or 10% OTC discount. And it would go up by 2 or 3% on the discount per each round. And we might do like 5 rounds, something like that, just to kind of stir up the investor base that he's got and bring them over to Wealth Wave. And it should hopefully bring new students to the Wave School app, and really give us some exposure. I'm also talking to him right now about setting up an interview between the creators uh, IT guy and Chris, and them talking about their 2025 roadmap and their views on how the Algorand altcoin community is doing, and stuff like that. So IPT is already a governance token on Tiny Man, and they just got voted in for their IPT algo farm. And one thing that we're talking about right now is getting the IPT and Wav3 liquidity pool to go ahead and try to get it voted in on farming rewards. So if we can really generate some liquidity into this Wave IPT pool, it's going to really help get that farm going. So hopefully, we can get the Wave community, I'm pretty sure, going on it. It's in my opinion, it's one of the very best brand. So that's pretty much what we've got on right now. My lunch break's about over, so I'm fixing to have to get off here, but be looking for Chris to be posting about the farm or farms.
Absolutely.
And here in the next, I'm going to try to do it in the next week, an interview. So that's what I've got.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the interviews too. That'll be cool. That's crazy that IPT was one of the tokens that I was already like an 80% holder in. Like I made that pool a long time ago. I read the white sheet and everything on it. And I was like, yeah, that dude seems, and then what they're like he burns so much of the supply too to like lock the value in
Oh
periodically.
yeah, and he completely like burned all of his creator tokens or locked them in liquidity pools. So there's locked liquidity. We'll talk about all that uh on the interview, but I got to get off here. I've got to go back to work.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
And I appreciate you having me
Those
on here.
shingles ain't gonna put themselves on.
All right. All right. Well, I'll
What's
see
going
y'all.
on, Mozzie? What's up, family? What you got going on today?
I'm cooling. I'm cooling. Zoom kind of frustrating me. You feel what I'm saying? But other than
Zoom?
that, I'm chilling. Mhm.
Yeah, man. Everything has been trying to frustrate me lately, but it's all right, man, because that's how it works, right? That's when you know you're doing the right thing, when everybody else hates you. You got any new news you got going on? What's going on with some wealth tips for the people today, Marvin?
Stay diligent.
Oh,
Um, don't let nobody kick you in your ass, man, and beat you down. Because the energies they come all sorts of ways to try to knock you off your game. You know what I'm saying? Um, my daughters, they all of a sudden got sick out of the blue, you know what I mean? So it's like had to shoot off to the hospital like a couple days ago, early morning for my daughter. My other one got sick, she's throwing up. And it's like we ain't did nothing out of the ordinary and nothing, haven't been around nobody extra or nothing like that. So it's like just weird. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't get focused with what I want to get done because watching my daughters, making sure they good. So that's why I say, you like, yo, stay focused, stay diligent, and don't let the energies knock you off your shit. You gotta stay doing something. You know what I mean, towards whatever you want to do, and don't let it just knock you into a downward spiral or nothing like that. You feel what I'm saying?
all right. That part. Because it's crazy if you think any of this. Think about this. If you're just doing your little regular 9 to 5, right? And you're feeling like it's too hard, and you feel like it's too stressful, and like if you think that starting your own business or doing your own thing is somehow going to be like some easier version or some shortcut, like you're not ready for it because it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it, right? But just because it's not easy doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. As a matter of fact, because it's not easy, it's probably the reason why you should do it for a bunch of reasons. One being just that you don't really grow from stagnation. You don't really grow from comfortability. You don't really grow from success, really. Like you really grow in the struggles, right? The hard times, the sacrifices. That's what makes character. That's what builds a strong individual, in my opinion. So, like
Yeah,
you said, stay
absolutely.
busy.
If you don't go through nothing, I mean, I don't know how strong you can actually become if you're not
Right.
going through anything. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through something and struggles and trials in order for you to get strengthened. You know what I'm saying? If you're not trying to put yourself through something or not doing anything at all, I don't think you're growing at all.
You can't.
No, that's
Think
real.
about contentment, right? Which is what most people seek. They want comfortability. They want ease. They want the life to just be convenient, right? That's what everybody searches for. They want it to push of a button. They don't want to leave their house. They don't want to have to really do nothing, right? So that's basically they're searching for that contentment, right? They want to feel like all right, I got everything I want and it's right here at my fingertips. So I am content, right? That's basically you saying I have everything I need. I can stop now. Like I hate contentment. And anytime I start to feel comfortable or start to feel like I'm content, like yeah, I'm good where I'm at, and I'm about to go do some shit. I'm about to go do something,
Yeah.
or shit. I'm gonna get rid of some shit, right? So
At
I don't
at,
feel that way.
at
The
this
last thing
point,
I want to tell myself is that I'm done.
yeah, at this point, being content, I don't know. You just like I feel like you still taking a lazy way out because you can look around
Exactly.
in the world and pick a problem and try to get a solution to it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you becoming content in a world that's like full of chaos is kind of like an oxymoron. You feel what I'm saying? Like you can't be
Right. It's like
content in a world that's
how are
always
you
throwing
done?
bullshit at you. You feel what I'm saying? How is that even possible?
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm not rich or anything like that. I don't want for nothing out here. You know what I mean? Because I cleared my mind to the point of seeing what the world is really like. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
now I don't want my daughters to have to struggle when they come up. So now I'm fixing myself to, you know what I mean, put shit in place so they don't have to, struggle or whatever too hard with the shit that I struggle with all my life. You feel what I'm saying? They have a
Right.
foundation or a mountaintop to start from versus like a flat fucking ground with pebbles. You know what I mean? Then they got to build the mountain. Then they got to climb that bitch. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nah, you hear the freaking clear all the fog and all the smoke for your little ones and for your brothers and your sisters. You know, I when I first come into like the truth or whatever, I did want to go help the world and shit like that. Then you notice the world say fuck you. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? They
That
ain't trying,
part.
they
You're
ain't
like,
worried about
damn.
what you talking about and what you see and what is true or not. You know what I mean? So, all right, cool. You feel what I'm saying? That's fine and dandy. All I could do is put shit in place that'll help my family and the people that need the help and want the help. I'm not looking at people that don't want no help or not trying to help themselves do anything. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying?
That's what what's his name? That Unc 607 or whatever. That's what he said. He said shit. He said, I ain't here to save y'all. He said, you don't want to jump on my boat? Drown, bitch. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
That's that's about it, right? He said, I'm
Yeah,
not here to save nobody. He said, I'm just here to live my life and do my experience. He said,
right.
shit, you want to drown, drown, and I guess I'm not gonna drown trying to save you.
I'm using the knowledge that I come into and elevate my life to something else. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
it.
So
it's
what do
with the
what do you feel about like Buddhists and people that go sit on mountaintops then? You know what I mean? Because you're talking about not staying complacent or at least content within things, but with reality itself
That's a good
literally
point.
being governed and ran by consciousness, there are people who do conscious works and efforts out here to not insert themselves into the world. So like, what are you telling me that you think that those people are being lazy too because they choose not to engage in all this mundane ass fucking bullshit?
I mean,
No, I
I
don't
don't
think
say that, but you said,
not
like
at
I'm
you
just
all.
asking
said,
questions. I'm not saying that that's what
that
you're
guy,
saying, but I'm asking.
that person is not contempt if he's doing some conscious work.
All right. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's what I meant as far as
You know
like
what I'm saying?
continues.
He
Like
still want to do
if you
something.
get to the point to where you just feel like there's nothing left to learn or nothing left to do, I mean, that's kind of like the point where you stop growing, right?
Yeah,
Because wasn't
Right.
it, wasn't it Steve Jobs? He said that's the reason why he was so successful. He approached every situation like he didn't know shit about it, even though he
Right.
might be the most educated person on the subject in the room. But he's going to look at the situation like he don't know shit. I don't know nothing about this. Teach me, right?
yeah,
That's what kind of how I try to be, right? Because shit, I know my perspective has changed over the years. I don't agree with me 5 years ago at all. Like me and myself
That's
5
real.
years ago would have probably ended up coming to fist fights because I was and back then I felt exactly the way I do now. Like I was right. I knew everything I knew, and now, oh my God, such an idiot, right? I knew nothing, and it was because I thought I knew it all.
well,
So yeah,
no
I like
shit.
that.
I
I
just
like what
realized
you
a
said,
lot.
Mozzie, about if he's doing conscious work, he's not content, and
Right.
that's a powerful statement. I was actually going to speak on that too about how you were saying, it's our job to, make sure that our children don't go through the same hardships that we went through. And I completely feel the same and relate to you from from just someone who grew up without a father and grew up very very poor and struggled and suffered. That sucked, right? But it's also probably the reason why I am the way I am now. So
Bro, I
I
can't
have
talk
kind of a
shit.
conflicting view on that, really. It's like, yeah, I want to shelter my children and provide for them and give them everything, that they want. But at the same time, I don't want them fucking growing up some rich or success. Not even rich. Like a lot of these people, they ain't got no fucking money, but they still walk around entitled as hell. Like they just own the world and
Yeah,
everybody owes them something. The last thing I want is for
That's
my
heavy.
fucking child to do that, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, yes, I want my kids to love me. I want them to like me. I want them to, be my friend. But my job as a father is to prepare those children to survive when I'm not there to do it for them.
right.
And if I do that, I succeed, whether they like me or not.
Kind of like that
Okay.
Islamic proverb, like my father struggled, therefore I struggled. I experienced struggle, but because I know struggle means that I don't want to struggle. So I did all in my efforts to be able to provide for myself and my family and my children. And because I did all that I can provide for myself, my family, and my children may not know struggle. And because they know not struggle means that they will struggle, and therefore their children's and their children's children will struggle.
It is.
You know,
There it is.
I feel it's a curse out here, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
It
When
is
you
a curse, but
when you
that
look at your
curse.
family, and that's what I say. You got to look at the family that you was born to. When you look at them and see what they up to, you feel what I'm saying? My family, I only have like I could say three. You know what I mean? Truly successful people in my family. You feel what I'm saying? Like a doctor that was a doctor all my life that I know. You feel what I'm saying? I just got a cousin that just like probably just graduated in that nursing field type deal. You feel what I'm saying? But bro, there's like my family. I still look around. I got aunts and all that stuff and pushing like 60s, 70s, still working.
Hmm.
Cousins, you feel what I'm saying? Just, they're just like, I don't know what they up to. You feel what I'm saying? But when I
They don't
look
know
at
what they're
them,
up to,
I'll be
man.
like, bro, my family is doomed if I don't do something. If I don't put something in place for my bloodline. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I don't know what other people be pushing forward, like leaping from, but I'm leaping from like a family that don't really have shit going on for them. You feel what I'm saying? They don't know shit about trust. You feel what I'm saying? They don't know shit about business because if they did, they'd be running it differently. You feel what I'm saying? We would have businesses in our family, but we don't. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, there,
Hmm.
what am I supposed to be doing? I could be content and just go and like go get rich and wealthy and shit like that, and be like and say fuck everybody. You feel what I'm saying? That was actually the cards that was dealt to me. You feel what I'm saying? I lost my
Right.
mom in them real early Feel what I'm saying? Car accident. 4 out of 5 people. My brother's still on crutches from that shit. Don't know where my father is. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, for me
Yeah,
to be
shit
here
him
where
from
I'm
the
at
get
right
go.
now and wanting to help people is big, because I can say fuck motherfuckers and
Right.
just get myself where the
That
fuck
is
I
huge.
need to be.
Yeah,
But that just
that's what I'm
shows me
saying.
that
Like all of us on
I'm
here
different than other motherfuckers.
have
You feel what
every
I'm saying?
reason. Yeah, and that's
Have
it.
you
You're different.
have you
Some
taken the
people
time to
are
give
just
yourself a
different.
pat on the back?
I mean, nah, but I try to give
Yeah,
myself one
Man, do that
every,
right
you feel what
now
I'm
for
saying?
yourself, bro, because that
do it.
expression is powerful as hell, man. You are doing a lot, and give yourself credit for what it is that you're doing, even though where you see the end goal is not necessarily there. Believe that it is such, live through the vibration and the rest of that frequency, but always fill yourself up, brother. Always fill
Yeah,
yourself
man.
up. You are worth that,
You deserve
okay?
it.
And you are doing some grand work out here, brother. I feel that pain. That shit was real, man.
Yeah,
Gratitude
man.
for
It's got me
the
emotional.
yeah, gratitude for the vulnerability just now, brother. Real talk.
Yeah, man.
I
That takes a
appreciate it.
lot of courage. Takes a lot of courage. I appreciate that as well. And he's right. Take the time to just pat yourself on the back. Like, now think about it, man. If everybody felt that inspired, right? Instead of just sitting around complaining about how shitty things are, if everyone felt that inspiring to just do what you're doing, if they just decided, you know what, I'm looking around at the rest of my fucking family, and I don't see any of them really trying that hard, right? Well, sometimes people want to try hard, they just don't know how. Sometimes they need a leader. Sometimes they need someone to fucking step out there and jump in that water first to see if it's deep enough, right? They don't want to bump their head, so bump yours, right? Because I bumped my head enough fucking times. I either learned to fucking dodge or headbutt. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'll risk it. I'll jump out there. I will be the crash test dummy if I feel like it's going to be beneficial enough, and especially if I feel like it's going to be something powerful that can be used to help somebody else. Yeah, man, for sure. And you're one of those people, man. So congratulations on that, man. And because of that, you will change your family's life.
I
I know it.
appreciate it. I know it because I'm manifesting that shit as we speak every day.
That's
You
it.
feel what I'm saying?
And you're
Like,
working. You're working. That's the part people leave out about the manifestation part. And if you want to approach it from a religious aspect, everyone is so like it's oh I'm just think about it and it happens. Like I mean, it's not that simple, man. You know, you can't just when you're going to take action. What happens before the action? It's the thought, right? Is the thought just enough? Is it, or do you actually no? You have to take that thought and put it to work. You have to apply it. So it's just like knowledge that's not used. It's useless. It's useless because it's not being used. It don't matter how fucking smart you are if you don't do shit with it. Right?
yeah,
You could be the smartest brain surgeon in the world, but if you never operate on anybody, what good is it? Right? You learned all that shit for nothing.
they say faith without
So
works is dead, right?
that's it. If you got the intention and you're putting in the work and you truly are following your spirit and doing what it says, there's no way you fail. It's impossible.
Big facts,
It's
man.
impossible.
Big facts. Let's say live in that vibration, live in that frequency. You have to see yourself in the wind and then let it go. Is easy as you breathe. Let that shit go. Let it go with the wind. Because the actions that occur from that point are the actions that are going to occur from that point, and all the experiences are bound into the successful point. Success is determined by a person's view on the outcome. The outcome, again, should already occur. If it already occurred, then what do you have to worry about? It should help you project yourself there quicker, and that's the key to manifestation.
Yeah. And then here's something that people don't realize about success, wealth, friendship, loyalty. Those are not things that you find. Those aren't things that you go out in search of and find. You attract success. You attract wealth. You attract good people. You attract like frequencies and like-minded individuals. You don't find them. You know, if it was something you could just go and find, there'd be a lot more people finding it because everybody's looking for a way out and just nobody fucking knows how to find it.
Yeah.
You don't.
That's
Like you
why when I
said, you gotta
studied with
let
all
it.
this truth shit, I just studied on solutions and how to do shit and enforce shit because it's like it's a whole bunch of shit that you could learn and try to understand and dig deep, but you got to figure out how to enforce this shit. So the point of what's the point of learning what it is and what they're doing to you if you can't enforce the shit?
You know why?
Right.
Because everybody stops at the what it is. They don't go
Yeah.
any farther. The what it is doesn't tell you shit, man. You got to find out why it is the way it is. You can't stop at the what. You need to. I can't. Right. I need to know why. Because if I can understand why this operates the way it is,
Mm-hmm.
then I can probably be a lot better equipped to use it. Right. It's kind of like if you don't understand the machine you're running, all you know is it does this thing. When something kind of doesn't go according to plan, you have no fucking clue how to fix it because you
You're
don't
right.
even
You
know
need
how it
options.
operates.
You need options.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
right now we
Options. You
only
can't have
based off of
motion.
one option that uh people told us, and it was the wrong fucking option.
That's it.
No, see,
Now think
that,
about it. If
that's crazy in rights and
that's
wrongs, man.
yeah. It's crazy how right and wrong is like subjective. Yeah, it
It
should
is,
be,
bro.
right?
It
Facts
really
should be
is, man.
facts.
It really is. It's based on how you view something, and then again, the options that you supply yourself out of whatever else somebody is offering to you. It should help you understand a little bit more about contracts, man. The naturalistic, you know what I'm saying, cyclical like avenue that a contract is. You know, contract is during and before as well as after everything because it still takes a natural agreement for anything. Everything that you're already bound into is a form of a contract, right?
Everything.
So if somebody presents to me,
Friendships.
yeah, you know, somebody presents to me whatever it is that they're presenting to me, it's either I
Offer.
accept it or I don't. It gives me the option to agree or not.
Everything's
Within
always an
that,
offer.
yeah. So within that, I'm gonna listen to you. Now I have to break it down and get analytical, at least respond back, you know what I'm saying? So I can make it known that I'm not just willingly accepting whatever it is that you're tossing to me or that you're presenting to me. And from there, then you know you get into the all right, well, what do I know? Well, I know a little bit about this, I know a little bit about that. Like you guys are saying, you keep yourself in a placement of I don't know. But that's for that latter, so you have another option. Because if all your options seem as if you don't necessarily want to choose those options because it may incite some kind of further conflict and problematic error into your own success, right?
Right.
Being analytical like that. Well, then now you would naturally be susceptible to yourself supplying yourself with another option. Well, maybe let me just chill out first. Like maybe let me just see what else they have to say on top of that, and that provides you the option to ask questions. You know what I mean? And insert
Yeah.
your own consciousness further. Start to dictate from there. You feel me? Everybody can tell me that, you know, uh, when it comes to cars, what a 10 mil is universal. There's 3 or 4 different fucking tools that can fit whatever you need for that job.
Exactly.
Most
Right.
people will sit there
Exactly.
and tell you only one thing. But the more that I accrue as far as the knowledge base, the more that I'm circumferencing myself in open options. And maybe that's not the only way. You know, then you're getting creative within the own mark to be able to provide yourself your own avenue within how to get that accomplished. Because again, there's many different ways. It's not necessarily that it's right or wrong. It's that somebody believes that there is one way to do something or that their way is the correct way. You know, when I'm teaching people, I often tell them like you have to understand what it is that you want to do with it. And from there I can help you try to accomplish that. Because what I'm telling you is only bare minimum and basics within the knowledge base. It allows you the option to now see the absolute truth without all the hoopla. So now you can go, oh, well, if that's the case, how do I want to go about this? Well, I don't know, man. Keep accepting the benefits and privileges and restructure that goddamn contract so you can at least accept the benefits and the privileges and utilize them. Disconnect yourself altogether. You can go engage in business so you can separate yourself that way. And yada, 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 yada. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy too. A lot of people that are out here struggling and suffering, right? They're some of the best fucking attorneys I've ever seen, right? Some of these people, some of these women that you've gotten into arguments with, it's just, I mean, it's just insane how good they are.
Fucking
You know what I'm saying?
hilarious.
It's in the marketing these people do. I mean, on a daily basis, dude, they are the best. Like the word of mouth marketing
That's a
is
hellified option right
prevalent
there.
everywhere, bro. That's all people do. That's all they do. Put the clothes on, put the fucking shoes on, and they run the tail out. You know, it's all about the drip, bro. The swag. Check it out, bro. They see them swagged out, right? Marketing like a motherfucker, bro.
Yo, it was the one
Y'all
guy,
sitting there
right?
acting like you don't know how to make money.
The one guy who was he posted about the Tory Lanez thing, right? And it was
Yeah.
funny that I didn't see that post yesterday, but I seen it today. And I didn't know that that was the post that JoJo had brought up in the NFT workshop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, that shit is it's not right. You know what I mean? It's like it's not an NFT that he created. It's like it's bullshit. You feel me? You know what I mean? He like, oh well, what's the receipts or whatever? Drop the whatever. I'm like, why I gotta do this, bro? It's we pulled it. I was like, bro, we just did
Yeah,
this
we did
live.
a lot. We
Like, you
watched
know
the
what I
whole
mean?
thing online. What do
I
you mean?
clipped the NFT workshop drawing, clipped it the minute when we was looking over it or whatever, and then I dropped the website showing them like, bro, you know what I mean? He was like, well, what sites do you use or whatever to mint NFTs? I'm like, bro, I use Algo Gems and WinTools is how I mint NFTs or whatever, but you know, he's
You
like, well,
see
I
that
used
right there,
algo
that
gems
turned
before, or
into a
whatever. I
growth
was like,
moment.
well, if you use algo gems before, then you would know that that's not what he did then over there. You feel what I'm saying? He's like, well, I didn't use Curious. I was like, I didn't either. But I've minted it before. You feel what I'm saying? Like I've minted NFTs before, so I know the process. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't sign. We was looking at it. It wasn't signing no transactions and didn't even connect the wallet to this thing. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, we already know what this is.
Right.
Like, bro,
So a
like
common
why are you
misconception
creating
within that.
controversy for what?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
That's it. Why are you coming at me like this? We're on the same team.
Yeah. Like creating controversy for no reason. All I'm doing is, you know what I mean, just building on top of the joint, letting you know, like, yeah, that shit's fake. It's not what it is. You know what I mean? Like he ain't do it. He ain't do it right. Just
But you
validating
handled
what
that
you talk about, you
situation
know what I mean?
perfect.
Just so you can restructure what you're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Because you like, oh, Tory Lanez, and you know what I mean? He mentioned NFTs. We was like, well, we just cleared this shit up though. Like whatever he was
Yeah.
talking about wasn't real because whatever he did ain't what it is. You feel what I'm saying? It's not what it is.
The whole
People
music
are
artist,
crazy,
that
man.
man got several other lingering contracts, you know what I mean? Probably bound into a little bit more than what he even overstood or can understand at the point in time.
Mhm.
The money freedom leads people into those portions of security within themselves. It's like basically, Chris said it great, is rebuilding and restructuring your own prison for yourself.
Yep.
Yep. And it's because they don't see the bigger implications of any of these things. Like the smart cities, for instance. Like if no one's really paying attention to these things, they love it. They're all for it. They think it's the best thing ever. Oh yeah, everything that I need within 15 minutes. Like you don't understand that everything is about control, right? Why do you think they want everybody packed into these cities that have everything sectioned off into these 15-minute blocks? Right? If you don't leave uh, a certain area, it makes it a lot easier to control. The fall of Rome happened. Why? Because they spread too thin. They spread too far out from the base, and they could not control all of that territory and shit, right? Or that's at least the narrative that we'll give you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that.
You just blew my noodle back.
Yep.
And I feel like how you what you want to be what is it? What was the movie called? Player One, Ready Player One. I mean,
Oh,
that's what you're going to be because how you going to even
That's what you
be
better
able to
be.
operate in the smart city if you don't have like a chip in you or some shit like that?
that is what Elon is aiming for. He literally
And
told
that's the
people when he
whole
was talking
deal.
about that currency, he said, well, now you're going to have a purpose, if not completely just jacked into this computer system.
Yep.
Like, what is it going to be? My brain just in a database? Yes, exactly. You ain't going to move,
Yes.
dog. You're going to be hooked up to that thing on prison time, having to
Wally, baby.
contribute. Yeah, having to contribute to the rest of society so you can have your currency. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, we don't
It's
want
so
that.
crazy that everybody is getting
Scary
farther and
shit, isn't
farther
it?
and farther away from the
Terrifying.
shit they need. It's so
Terrifying,
crazy.
terrifying, more terrifying is that they be showing us the shit in the movies and then they show us who it's in real life. So you look stupid when you trying to tell niggas the shit.
Well, think about this, right? The first
Even more
time,
terrifying.
it is. But think about the first time you went through a traumatic experience, right? That shit was traumatic.
Yeah.
I don't know about any of you guys, but when you're in a situation to where your life's actually like being threatened, it's that's you know what I'm saying, that emotions are high, tensions are like that's a very nerve-wracking experience, right?
Yes.
But after you survive it, you can go through those same experiences and it might still be like intense, but it's a little less so, right? So if we're watching all these movies of all this shit and we're fucking, oh yeah, you see that new movie where they had everybody locked down and da, da, da. We're being desensitized to that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. You have a choice of liberation or not.
Yeah.
It's a
And,
it's
and
it's a
at the same
predictive
time,
program.
at the same time, they calling us pussies and daring us to do something about it. If you can see what we
Like,
do.
look, we finna show you what we gonna do to you, bitch. What you gonna do about it?
Word is born. I mean, that's how I'm starting to look at it, bro. You feel what I'm
It is
saying?
war.
Like,
If
they,
you're not
once you
looking
got
at it as
eyes to
war,
see
you're
the
crazy.
shit, they making movies about the shit, what they going to do, what they rolling out in front of you sooner or later, and they daring you to try to stop it.
But you got to know the rules to these wars, right? Because this isn't some get your troops together with your weapons and go out there and fight. This is psychological warfare.
That's the fitting back
The
into the
media is the most
options.
powerful thing ever.
I think that's what
Absolutely.
what was the guy, man? What was his name, man? The boy, the Behold the Pale Horse, the book.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the silent weapons of war. That's what he showed you what the bills were, and they knew what the
Well,
bills do
they
to you
realized back in the
psychologically when
day.
they hit your mailbox and all that shit. That's why they was called silent weapons of war. These bills and all that shit, they weapons.
Facts.
Well, now they used to, if they wanted to kind of invade a country or take over resources, they'd send the military. They'd send a
Yeah.
whole army. They'd bomb. They do all this shit. Now,
Blackwater funded militias.
yeah,
Those are
yeah,
real in the whole
they
entire
send
world. I mean, as well
economic
as just
hitmen now.
follow the money. Yeah.
They can send one or two economic hitmen into these nations that don't want to like cooperate or give up their resources. And with a couple of fucking placed loans, that it's strategically like set up structures, and that
Yeah.
whole nation falls. And now they own their whole nation. They own all the resources.
Hey,
They
yo,
not a single bullet fired, nobody killed. Just a
Marxism.
guy went in there with a couple $1 million and boom, it's over with.
yeah. And what's
That's the
Well,
kind of
funny
warfare we're
what's
talking
funny
about.
is we be
You didn't
seeing
even
them
know it happened.
we be seeing them guys floating around on the blockchain too. They call whales.
Right?
Now,
Right.
I mean, you see these guys trying to move all these billions of dollars and shit on the blockchain. Now you see them. You couldn't
Well, that's
see it
why you talk
when
to
it was in
most
fiat. You
traditional.
feel what I'm saying? But now they moving it over to the blockchain. You can see it now.
Yeah, a lot of traditional investors say that crypto's money laundering. I've talked to a bunch of like forex people
What
and
blockchain?
yeah, that's
That
it's like
shit.
a concept. It's like a
I wouldn't launder
perception
money
people
on the
have.
fucking blockchain.
I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't personally do it,
I wouldn't do
but
none of
people
that
do.
shit.
I
That
am
shit.
I know
skeptical
it's
about
crazy.
everything that has to involve an electronic, bro. If it's not
It's
paper and it
so
ain't in my
weird.
hand, I have a hard time
Yeah.
accepting anything else that anybody's going to say about it. And I'm
Well,
trying to
that's you
work
got to
through
be
the
aware of.
avenues of like how to protect it, but it
Yep.
just seems, man, seems minute, bro.
Well, it only
Hey, look,
exists on that blockchain.
once it gets basic, bro, well, our fiat is backed by what? Nothing. Okay, these digital
Nothing. The
assets
people,
that they
Pretty
the
much.
creating are
people in
backed by
Petro.
nothing. Okay, so we just playing the same game on a different
That's
field,
it.
right?
That's all we're doing.
Exactly, exactly. It
That's
just
all we're
changed
doing.
over,
Yeah,
and
so
now they can press a button
y'all
instead of
gonna
having to
dump
search for a paper record. That's that's
y'all
that's the
dumping
only
all
change.
y'all bread into Bitcoin. That shit just don't. It's related on what? Bitcoin is what? What is it backed by again?
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
okay, that's what I
Nothing.
thought. You feel what I'm saying? So the
Right.
people still are
It's backed by
bamboozled,
the same thing that the currency in the United
still
States is
making the
backed by,
still
your faith.
retarded
That
moves.
this right here really, all right. So like going back to the options and then like knowing the rules to a game. Their game board is set up how it is. Everybody else has their own game boards and they all commingle. So when we talk about the lawful money aspect, this is what allows you to see that privacy and the rest of paper is never going to go anywhere because all right, we're talking about gold, right? Gold, silver, copper, and things that actually transmute, all right, and transmit energy. What are all electronics made out of?
I think
The same
silver.
things you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh, how
So
are you
that's the
then
play.
going to tell me that all of that is obsolete? Bro, I have to be so far gone from the base amount of reality
Yeah.
to not see this one truth right here. Bro, if you want money in the future, go invest into gold, cobalt, platinum, silver. That is your
Yeah.
out. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And
Right.
write a fucking certificate for the thing, bro. So you can always have the record and account of your purchase and your use of it. Right? If I have built an inserted interest into that and I come forward with the production of the record, say and anybody wants to come forward and be like, no, that's not happening. Well, now I have equity in the whole entire world. You can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
That's the thing about equity. It's equity. It's equality in justice in its like purest form.
Literally bonding or contracting yourself back to the earth.
Yeah.
Yep. But once again, these people don't understand the game they're playing and the rules to it. Right? If you understood it, then you would, nobody gets a game, starts to play this new game they've never played, and they're reading through the instructions, and they say, you know what, I'm just going to skip over the first whole paragraph of instructions and go straight to the second paragraph and learn how to play this game.
So what would be valid play for all of that? We take the paper contract, all right, and then you reinsert that on the public scale, okay, to wherever that you wanted to go, considering the fact that blockchain is all traceable publicly, right? You can't trace my piece of paper unless it is that who I handed it to goes hands it to somebody else, and then they complete the rest of that cycle as such, which they do have the will and the ability to do unless I lay out contractual stipulations, and even still they have the choice and the option to go do so and disregard the rest of the stipulations that's laid out within that contract for that use of my intellectual property. It's an extension. I had to write down the words. I had to create this thing, right? So is that the natural link that we are looking at right now in today's time? Is it viable? And then is that a worthy tactic?
Right. Right. Exactly. And also, guys, it is no coincidence that it was Bitcoin's a scam for 10 years. And then all of a sudden, everybody should be doing crypto. The same fucking Larry Fink that told us not to ever invest into Bitcoin is now the largest holder, right? The same guy that said it was a scam is literally doing talk shows praising tokenization, praising taking cryptocurrency and DeFi and Web3 to the next level with real world assets. And it's just like, you guys are so like just unaware that you don't even realize it. You're going to listen to him and you're going to go do it, even though he told you not to do it, but he told you to do it. So it's like, what?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I don't know, family. I don't know what these people doing. You know what I mean? You gotta understand. You gotta, you know what I mean? When you started seeing things, you gotta move to how the world is going to move. You know what I mean? Be able to position yourself. You ain't gonna be able to defeat these fuckers. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to position yourself. You know what I mean? And then handle your private shit like you need to. But once you handle your private shit, I mean, you don't really be having shit to worry about. Like I felt like I did the one shit with the municipal court shit, and I know it's some back end shit that I need to talk to y'all about because I want to lock down some this property that I have too. You feel what I'm saying? That I feel like I got one other process, which is like take it through the court process or whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure how I want to do it. So I'm gonna talk to y'all about it.
Dates and times of availability, bro. Like I said, you just gotta connect with me.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, once you start seeing certain things, you know what I mean, certain things just become calm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have, it's like once you elevate and do certain things on a certain frequency, it felt like you just be off of it. Like, I don't really deal with it no more. One time it felt like that shit was just fucking with me all the time. And then once I hit that bitch with that,
yeah, man, the public's
you know what I mean?
gonna
I
do
ain't
what the
heard from
public's
it
gonna
again.
do. The public interface is always the public interface, bro. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I was telling this to Chris the other day, who's just kind of asking me questions about, you know, a higher level of movement dealing with the business, and that's ultimately leading back to know who you are. Everybody chooses to handle business differently, but at least in your private sense, like you just said, handle that shit and then look at whatever else is gonna happen, because that is your play. Now, you don't have to choose to engage and insert yourself in that because your privacy is already taken care of. And no man in the whole entire world can come forward and tell you how to conduct business. They can try, they can do everything in their whole entire capability, their natural wills and ability to stop you from being successful in your own areas. But that's why you have your own privacy. That's the whole entire station about it.
Right.
Yeah, the public is going to be the public, bro. I
Yes.
can't stop one person from choosing to go be a slave. But if I can
Right.
create business on a public interface and I can protect that in my private sense to where I'm not accruing this quote unquote liability, it's what I built and stationed inside of the charter for that business that now creates the opportunity of freedom for the rest of the people. It just so happens a lot of people in these areas don't see their own freedom and their own remedies that are built within those corporate charters. And so they have a natural, innate ability to try to be, you know, rebellious and think that somebody's fucking them over. But that guy was just protecting himself. You know, that's it. But there is always remedy within that whole entire public interface because it's publicly bound. Those are obligations of performance built and stationed back towards government. You know,
Right.
people make up the whole entire system. It does not happen without the people. So the people choosing to engage becomes their own fucking problem. Nobody told you that you had to pick the game up or even move a piece around the board or shake the dice, bro. You keep choosing to do this. And they're like, well, how am I going to live? I don't know. Maybe go outside, grow some food. Maybe,
Maybe
you know,
actually
walk
Yeah,
to a
right.
stream and get your water.
Right.
Learn
might
how to
live for
frame.
once.
You know, one YouTube video that's 30 minutes long to teach you how to build a house. And this is what you choose not to do. So you're choosing every day to wake up and then go back into that employer and just hand everything over. You choose not
Yep.
to stand up for your own equitable rights that are stationed within that contract so you can actually distribute yourself your own payout, even if it is that you're employed, because now you can be reassigned as a 1099 contractor to this business, or you can insert yourself as an investor to that business, or yada yada yada. Those are
You have
what you're learning as
options.
far as options back into the placement. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
what helps you build and secure the rest of your privacy. Again, it's one fine loop. It's a beautiful loop. It's a beautiful circle.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey.
And you know, when once you understand it, everybody that I've talked to that really kind of gets it, they all say the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but it really is a beautiful system they've made. You have to respect the just the intricacies,
Right.
how it all is like this ecosystem that is completely relying on other factors. So yeah, I mean, there's these
Bro.
centralized authorities and shit, but the system itself is it's decentralized, right? Everybody that
Yes.
wants to has the option. It's just you don't want to, right? You don't want to read all this long, boring shit that we
You
read.
don't want to believe
You
it
don't want to
either.
put the work in.
Right.
You don't want to fucking you don't want to
That's
have
it,
to go at
Mozzie.
shit head first,
It's
right?
belief.
So it's easier.
And don't want to
Easier to just go to work.
take the time to go and know for your facts.
Right.
See, what I know is that I can create money too. You feel
Yes.
what I'm saying? So it's like now it's like, how the fuck do I enforce this shit when I'm trying to create my own bread?
There you go.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, but y'all rather go work for master in
Yeah, there's
exchange of time for nothing.
there's gonna be something somewhere, man.
You feel what I'm saying? For
Something somewhere. Either
nothing.
you're gonna be dealing with a bank because they already handle it and they inserted themselves in there, or you're gonna be dealing with a state that deals with the banks because that's already inserted and that happens there.
Mm.
You know, or you go all the way to the end goal and you say, all right, I'm just gonna put my board up next to theirs.
And you become what you think about most. Is just the facts.
Yes.
That's it's that simple. So if you choose to work all week and you have these 2 days at the end, so you got this weekend, so you got these 2 days, and you got this family, and you got all this shit, you know, and on that weekend, you decide, you know what I'm gonna do this weekend? I'm gonna play fucking PlayStation and watch football. And it's like, so that outside of your responsibilities, outside of the shit you absolutely feel like you have to do, you're given a choice or an option with these 2 whole. I don't fucking have 2 whole days to just fuck off and do what I want. I don't. And if I did, the last thing I would do would spend it fucking doing nothing, watching football, learning everything about the fucking team, knowing when they fucking were founded. And I could tell you the 73 fucking lineup and who won every Super Bowl since it's fucking began. Right.
Even us fucking off
Knowing how
now
to-
comes with high level conversations at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, like being able to create that revenue source also comes from the fact that you can understand what it takes to create a contract. So once you start having the ability to create your own agreements, legally binding agreements, once you understand mutual assent, once you understand what a responsibility is or an obligation to perform is, then from that, you're really basing it off of what it is you're trying to do, whether it's project based or if it's something that's long term, like building a brand. But for me, like I was able to quit my job all off of being able to create an independent contractor agreement. You know what I'm saying? Just that one little piece of paper was able to open up the door to give me some more freedom. I won't say it gave me all my freedom, right? It was still some knowledge and stuff I had to go make some time for. So even outside of working for myself, when I felt like, okay, great, now this 40 hours a week, it's my 40 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? It was a matter of, okay, you still got to put in 45 if you want to get to the next level. You still got to possibly put in 50 to 60, right? And a lot of people get into, you feel me, living off the grid or living for themselves or being an entrepreneur, thinking as soon as you replace the job, that's it. Like now you about to live comfortable forever. Like, no, actually, you take more of an inherent risk. And I honestly would say without the knowledge, it probably wouldn't be worth it. But that's where our community comes in, your support system, right? Each one teach one. To teach one, you got to reach one. And we all can build that synchronicity just by having a focus.
And then that focused thought, you know, attracts like frequency. So isn't that kind of funny? Kind of like a little system.
Starting business. We could just be preying on the weak out here, you know, setting up
honestly,
little
because we have all
set
the
up a
tools.
light subscription service for you. You feel what I'm saying? Something that, you know, good enough for you, easy enough for you to get in, but you know what I mean, a little bit strenuous for you know what I mean, for you to hold on to. Let you sign the agreement, let you default on it, and then just start going for garnished wages and just start getting rich off y'all garnishing y'all wages because y'all don't know how to stop nothing. Y'all don't never
predatory
don't answer to
loaning
nothing or nothing. Like, but I don't want to do that to be preying on my brothers and sisters. But you know, with knowing knowledge and stuff like that, we could set up stuff like this. You know what I mean? Just how people be just like got new with the with blockchain and just start making these meme coins and rug pulling them. How many? I'm thinking like how many times can you pull that off? But people still doing it right now, get rich right now.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Almost made me want to almost made me want to do a couple meme coins and rug pull.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man. It'd
Just
be
to
so
fund
easy.
another project. Like
I look at it like fast money don't last. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't.
Exactly.
So if you only get money off of rug pulls, that means whenever you running low on money, what you gonna have to do? Another rug pull. So it's a nasty loop. Like just how we can have positive.
Now you're forced to do the shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's not
and you know, it's like the sad thing is like the rug pulls, right? In order for those to work, you had to put some effort into it, right? You had to build a good fucking white sheet. You know, you had to do some marketing. You had to, you know, put some money in it. So you had to do all of the hard work that you would already do building something that was actually fucking made to last, right? If you did all hard work and got it up there, like what?
You might as well just take the next step.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just go with it. It's working, right? Hell, I mean, I was gonna rug pull, but shit, look, you know, damn, why don't I just keep it going, right? And now you got a consistent passive income off of something you just got on the computer, put in a couple little things, typed in some shit, made a pretty little picture, and boom.
And you might have just explained how the banks got started, man. They might have been like, hey, this is actually working. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once people enter into that social contract, it's a lot easier to show somebody or convince somebody that they've been tricked. Or I'm sorry, it's a lot harder to show them that they've been tricked. You know what I'm saying? Than it is to show them the real way to get things done or to be productive. You feel me?
It is crazy that they will believe a lie that is bad for them over the truth that would actually save them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
and what's the saying is
thinking
that your situation is going to get better without you doing something different.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how could you?
That's not
what happened. You do the same thing every day, and you just keep going through the same shit. Well, I mean, eventually, right? You would think, right? Eventually, you'd be like, same thing. I keep doing the same thing happens, same thing. Something different. That's what I should try.
You know what? I kind of want to share something. So something for mentorship that I see that kind of helps people break that loop is just that simple question, right? So the way I break it down to people, like when I'm feeling like they're not seeing what the implications is, I ask them straight up. All right, so if we continue down this path, you feel me? What are the implications? If things go your way based off of what you're doing, what does this mean for you, for your project, for your family, for whatever the case may be, whatever we're attaching it to, you know? And usually that's enough, just enough of a separate perspective, you feel me, for somebody to start asking themselves new questions. Because I think it boils down to the questions you ask. Because I could tell you whatever, but if you don't even know how I got there or what I'm doing to even have to come up with a question or a line of questions to get something done, then the information will still just be sitting there in your storage. It may be immediately applicable too. You could use it right now after I tell you. But if it don't connect for you, then you won't do it. You feel me?
That's true. And honestly, if you ask any successful person, they're going to tell you the same thing. They're going to say, find you a mentor. Find somebody that's either doing what you want to do already, or somebody that is successful in some way, and learn from them. That's how you do it, right? Because it's you've got two options to figure some shit out, right? You've either got to fucking put the work in and learn it yourself through a lot of studying, and then still ultimately trial and error, right? Because you can read that shit a million times, but until you do it and see how that shit actually works, you can't truly know or feel confident in how it works, right? You can do that. That's kind of considered the hard way, though, right? That's kind of the way I like to do it, right? Or you can learn from somebody that's already did it. It's a lot easier, right? It's a lot easier, but the reason that people don't want to do that is because they got to pay for it. Oh, I got to pay. Well, yes, of course, bro. You know how much it costs for that person that you're, trying to be mentored by to get to the level of understanding? They had to spend a lot of money, a lot of losses, a lot of hard time, a lot of energy. We're talking
Right.
years, decades, most of the time.
I look at it
So
like,
it's like, I've
if it
already
costs you
done that.
100,000 to learn it and you charging me 10, I'm okay with that. I can see that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Run
saying?
that.
If you had to come,
Run
that's
that.
compounding your losses too. You know what I'm saying?
That's buying
So
the dip. That's what it is.
tight shit on the real.
Yeah. Let me get it for $1. Hell yeah.
On the
Yeah.
real.
But
I feel like
I mean, and
Telegram
then here
chat.
we give y'all the game for free, like every time we get on here. But y'all don't catch it because you ain't even took the time to understand the basics. Like literally
Yeah.
every single time that we've done one of these, like if you really just wanted to know, all you could just go read the terminology and get like a base understanding of like how business operates in general and commerce in general, and come back and watch this shit and you'd be like, oh shit. Oh
You
shit,
know,
I got it.
I got a question for
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick. Have y'all used AI to like you know how you could copy and paste the little videos or whatever the case may be, or the web page and be like, what, like read this web page? Have you guys ever tried like with a YouTube video, like, hey, Chat GPT, watch this video and give me like a summary? Do you guys know if it can do
I
that?
have not actually.
No,
Have
I
you?
haven't tried it before.
All right, I'm gonna
I
try
mean, I
that.
go through and I do like the
You might,
transcripts and
you
shit
know
for
what I
like
mean?
our videos and lives and shit, but I haven't actually done that with like other people's.
No, I haven't tried to plug in no YouTube videos in it to try to see if it does anything, to be honest.
Interesting.
That's
I'm gonna
interesting.
try off
Now
our
I do
last
have
video
long
we uploaded.
conversations with all the AIs.
Real
Yeah,
spill.
But
but
I
that is
just know
actually
it's
pretty
you can
interesting.
use them guys to do anything.
Yeah,
I've
you really can. I mean, honestly, like a
screenshotted
person.
and plugged screenshots into them and told them to do certain shit for me. You know what I'm saying?
Real spill.
You just got to treat AI like it's a person for real, right? You're not going to meet
Yeah.
somebody
A
and
super
trust them
super smart motherfucker.
immediately, are you? Are you going to meet somebody first and people will literally download an app first time they've ever used it, type some shit in there, and whatever the results are, they believe it instantly. They're like, yeah, this is the way it is because fucking so and so app told me so, and I got it off the app store.
And
So this
I
is the way it is.
actually,
Google said it. You're like, what? Google says 50. If you scroll down to the fucking 120th page, I guarantee it's going to be something completely different than what the fucking first page said.
let's make this hit home even more so, right? Because I've noticed something that now that we're in the age of AI, kind of like what you were saying with being more personable and finding ways in there. I got a story for you I share after this, but like I found that a lot of Fortune 500 companies or companies that have a lot of reoccurring revenue and contracts, as they're getting more technology, they're just blindly following that information and they're getting less testimony. So my job when I come in as a consultant, like to make it easy, yeah, people be providing me some data, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a great thing. But the more valuable information is coming from the employees. You know what I'm saying? In terms of how they interact with the systems, not even necessarily how they feel about the company. You know what I'm saying? Because how
think
people
about that, because these employees are people.
Yes.
Customers are people too. So
Exactly.
if the employees can, you know what, you know how to find the easiest and most efficient way to do something? Hire a lazy person.
Interesting.
Hire a lazy person to do it. They're going to find the quickest, easiest, simplest, most efficient way to get it done, because they ain't trying to do too much, bro. I do not even want to really be here today.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Right? If you want to fucking find the best way to maximize the fucking potential and the productivity, and all, you hire somebody like me, a motherfucker that loves to just do some work and get some shit done. Right? I'm a literally go in there, and within the first week, I'm gonna tell you how you could double the fucking efficiency. We could produce 2 times this shit if we do this. If we put this, if we had a supercharger to that motherfucker. Really, it's a, you know what I'm saying. So, but back to what we were saying, the employees of a company are going to tell you a lot about whether the customers are going to relate, right? Because the person that works there has a cousin that doesn't, that shops there, right?
I'm texting my cousin this Lee right now. It's funny you said that.
Well, I mean, that's, you know, these are all interactions. People got to base. That's what it goes back to, like knowing the rules of the game, right? Everybody is so fucking concerned about everything on the outside, and you're not paying attention to what all this is. When you're at the store and you're checking out and there's a cashier, that is an interaction between you and another person, right? If you're at a job interview and you're going in, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions, you're all palm sweaty, you're nervous as shit. Why would you be, bro? It's literally the same exact thing. This is literally just an interaction between you and another person.
This is facts.
Right? And then it's like crazy. You get all bent out of shape over the fucking shit that's not real. The paper world. Like stuff, like it's insane, man. It's insane. The bill that comes in the mail has you so through the roof anxious, like your anxiety, like you're being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger.
When's the
That's
next
what
bill
anxiety
pay
is. That's what the feeling of anxiety is. It is a evolutionary thing, right? It's like needed. It's instinctual, because it's like if there was some shit that was going to attack you, you would need to kind of be excited about it, right? You wouldn't want to fucking have a saber-toothed tiger bust through the house and you just sit there and be like, oh, wow, this is a tiger. Come here, let me pet the kitty. Right? Like,
Nobody
no, bro, it's going to
is
eat you.
going to react that
It's
way.
fucking eat you. But you get that way over a bill that is ultimately just a tree that they chopped up into little thin pieces and like wrote some shit on, and they sent it to you.
It's
And you
actually,
feel like you're being attacked by something that could kill you.
isn't it a security? So
Yeah,
at this
bro.
point, I look
We
at
got a
it
bunch of
as
them.
like they sending you bread in the
Security.
mail. You just don't know what to do with it, to be honest.
Yeah. If you did, you would feel safe, right? If you wouldn't be scared of the IRS if you
You
actually
you
did.
wouldn't you couldn't you wouldn't yo,
You would not be scared
you'd
of
be
them at
waiting for
all.
that
You'd be like,
motherfucker to come in
yes.
that motherfucking mail. Well, God damn it, my bill ain't come this month.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah. But it is knowing the game.
And you know what's great about this too? This whole thing, just as we were talking about it, I'm realizing more and more. Once that became my problem, it did like switch my personality, because I went from thinking about like, this bill is coming to, when is this bill coming? You know what I'm saying? So
Still anxiety.
yeah, so people like that's
Yeah.
still fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? Maslow's hierarchy of
It is,
needs.
isn't it?
Yeah, if you think it'll affect
I
your
bet
lifestyle,
yeah.
you
Think
feel
about
me?
that. Fight or flight. That's a unique
When I look at them
response, I
now,
think.
I
What's
look
the
at everything
difference?
that be coming in the mail. Like I be looking at it and I be just wondering like how would I perform on this joint? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
I
look at it and
don't
think
get bills coming in the mail.
how should
Like
I?
the only thing that keeps on coming in the mail that I can't that I've been pondering on for a minute is this surcharge thing. I'm about to try something and see what happens.
Oh yes. We got
You know what
the
I'm saying?
big ass black light functioning now. So yeah.
Real spill.
My bad. Sorry,
So
I
I'm
didn't
about
mean
to
to cut you
figure
off.
see
I
if I
just got
can
a thought.
turn these surcharges into a check or something.
I don't
Oh,
get
that's
what you
cool as
mean.
hell coming
I'm
through the
lost
screen.
completely on what you're saying. That sounded like a foreign concept to me.
Oh yeah, he's talking about
I know.
oh yeah. Educational and entertainment purposes only.
Yeah,
Right.
educational purposes only.
So you
So
just
I
tear
was
the
looking through
surcharge
some
it
of
to it.
some things, and I mean, we talked about the the bills and shit that Trump's passed on, like the cryptocurrency and stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
But the SEC is actually forming a crypto task force and pausing aggressive enforcement,
Interesting.
right? And that also kind of seems funny. It's after it delayed its Binance lawsuit and settled with Ripple for 50 million. And they withdrawing the appeal on XRP's non-security status. So that's a huge fucking thing, dude.
My
Yeah, they getting their
XRP
money
been
up.
rising, boy.
That's huge.
They getting their
That's
money up,
huge
not their
because now
funny up.
XRP is not considered a security.
Facts.
That was
Would
just
you mind
another
elaborating a
asset
little bit
like
more?
everything else.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Think about it. If it's not a security, then it's not really subject to as many regulations and rules and shit,
Right.
right? So that's like the difference in like you creating your token and being able to do whatever the fuck you want with it because it's yours and you can control it and send it here and do that. You know what I'm saying? You can send it where as the alternative to that is now you have the SEC regulating what you can do here and there and what you know what I'm saying? That's a big fucking difference. And then when you think about the level that XRP is on and the amount of money and backing and the people behind it, I don't know about you, but to me, that's like, I know what I could do if you gave me $50 billion.
Damn
I
right.
can flick that wheel, bro. I would do what I wanted when I want. I mean, it'd be pretty easy with that kind of power and 50 billion.
Bro,
But,
that is
that also
sick.
says a lot about how much power and influence they already have. It's not coincidental because I don't believe in those.
Nah, they right on time. They positioned.
And
Definitely placed.
the Congress is actually advancing the stablecoin bill too.
That's why we're going to drown.
See?
Yeah. So I told you. I knew it. As soon as they said that, oh, here's Nathan. He's back.
Yeah, bro, because we already know that's why we only mess with the certain ones. And we've been talking about XRP and all that stuff for a minute anyway. We knew
So
that was gonna
Well, yeah,
blow
dude.
as
As soon as they
soon
announced
as
that they
they
were
beat
building a
that case.
cryptocurrency
Crazy.
reserve,
What's this bag?
that's what I told you. I said they're gonna create a stable coin with the reserve because that's how they're gonna take the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin and whatever they're using, the reserve that they're building on behalf of the Treasury. They're gonna use that as collateral to create a stable coin. Over collateralize an asset to where there's more collateral than the asset's worth. You have a stable coin that does not fluctuate. It can't
right,
go down because
like Lido staking.
yeah,
Their
I mean that's how
TVL
you've only got a
their
couple
market
of
cap.
ways to create an asset that doesn't go down when you sell it. Because that's kind of the way shit works. You buy it, it goes up, you sell it, it goes down. So in order for you to have an asset that does not go down, you have to have more collateral than is in the asset. Or you can do it through like sophisticated like algorithms and a bunch of fucking, processing power and shit like that.
So
Where
what you think is they holding? What is the collateral that they holding that
they're gonna use that digital
USDC
currency reserve
don't
that
go
they're
nowhere.
building. That's USDC is backed by something. Tezos or not Tezos, Tether. That was the first stable coin, right? And it was
And it is
backed
the
by they
number one
bought
stable
United
coin.
States Treasury bonds and used that as the collateral to create the very first stable coin.
So you mean to tell me all it takes is for a group of us to start buying United States Treasury bonds and shit like that, and we can make
Treasuries, yep.
our coin the stable coin?
I'm telling you, all it takes is for a group of us to take any type of collateral on an asset and pool it together and create a stable coin.
Okay, so we can pull
And
in.
once you understand how collateral and
We
shit
can
work,
pull in our properties and all that shit.
anything. You could paint some fucking paintings and convey that shit and now use that as
Hey,
collateral.
hey, once y'all kind of get to a point on this subject, I've got something to run in on the end of it.
Go
but
ahead,
it
man.
needs to
You're
be on
you're
the
you're at work. Go ahead.
Okay,
Break it
Yeah,
down.
so
run it
Let's
down.
hear it.
all right, so there is an awesome feature on Algorand on their ASAs that we, as far as ASA creators or whatever, have not been holding. So check this out. So it's like DeFi loans. So you want to collateralize your Bitcoin, your Ethereum while they're low, right? And then the strategy is borrowing stable coins against it. Well, what if, so you've got your Algorand ASA and you have enabled the freeze liquidity. And so what you do is you set up farms to get your investors to invest in, let's say, BTC, Go ETH, Link, and Sol. And so you set these farms up at the bottom. And then once their market caps hit near an all-time high, what you do is you freeze the liquidity on that ASA, and you put out on your social medias, hey, for 24 hours we're going to be freezing, whatever the ASA is. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking all of our volatile assets while they're at near top, and we are going to be switching them for stable coins. That way, whenever you hit the top of the bull cycle and it starts to hit the bear cycle, all of your liquidity is now stable. So you're able to, in your liquidity pools and as an ASA community, able to hold that high TVL that is usually only capable at the top of a bull cycle. Now, with the liquidity freeze option and actually using it, you were able to freeze the liquidity at the top, switch our volatile for stable, and hold that liquidity. Does that make sense?
I am
Yeah.
absolutely sure that you confused the shit out of everybody else, but I completely didn't.
Yeah. I was
But
following a bit,
Okay,
you
so
know what I
let's
mean?
say,
But I kind of understand a little bit.
what here's the only thing I have to say about that is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, I was saying,
I was
whatever the
following.
token may be, whatever
Straight
the
up.
token may be. I've done got
No, I mean, bro, it's genius. It's
okay,
brilliant. And honestly, even if it ain't like that, you guys should use that concept if you really catch what he's saying in your own personal investments, like just even
Yeah,
in your own
absolutely.
bag. That was a very brilliant breakdown of how you're supposed to do it. Right? That's what stable coins are for. Think about it.
Yeah,
They don't go
yeah.
nowhere. They don't go up, they don't go down. It's like immediately when I realized that, I was like, oh yes, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
yeah.
So I can buy the dip
Because
with
for
the
an
stable
entire
coin
year
that I
now,
converted that high of the dip with, like, oh my God, cycle, keep it coming. Yeah, let's run it.
like
Very
Yeah.
simple.
when
And that's
Chris
why they're
first,
called runs, right? Bull runs, bear runs, cycles, systems, patterns.
yeah, because once you're at the height of the bear and everything's at its bottom and you need money, that's when you freeze it again and you switch all your stables for what's the first part of the crypto season? It's the Bitcoin. It
Yeah,
goes
yeah, yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, mid caps, small caps. Bitcoin, Ethereum, mid caps, small caps.
That
Hey,
Right,
and
right, right.
so am I allowed on here to talk about a project that's fixing to go live?
I mean, you can't promote it and like, like, or, I mean, I guess you can talk about it and shit, but you can't
Okay.
like
Yeah,
try
you
to
can't.
persuade
You
people to
just
buy
look.
it and shit.
This is how you do it. You say, from your experience, this is what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? That's how you get
Okay.
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
not telling
from
you
Right.
what to do. It's what I'm doing. This is shit I'm paying attention to.
yeah, from
Right.
a guy that's a professional roofer, uh So I invested in RCO Finance, and the reason why I invested into RCO Finance is because it has a generative AI that basically reads the news, takes past charts and all that stuff, and it helps it's the people on the platform make their trades. And so RCO Finance is in its last stage. It's at 16 cents. And what's cool about RCO Finance is let's say if you have 1 million tokens, every 3 months, you get a 1% yield on each of those tokens. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I personally like that too, honestly. I
yeah,
am
so it's
personally
about
doing that myself.
to go live. And another thing, when you're talking about tokens that really hold their value, there's a token on Ethereum mainnet called Maker. And
Maker?
it's
Yeah, I know about
Yeah, I
Maker.
saw that the other
like,
day. I was actually paying attention. It's ironic that you mentioned it. Like
it's
something stood out about it. I don't know what it was.
yeah,
when did you come across it?
a few months ago. And I'm not invested in it or anything like that, but
So
you
wait a
know,
minute. See, you found out about it a few months ago, and then just recently it just kind of popped back in your brain.
well, I think that
It's
for
like
people that are
1,500, right?
wanting to learn about building a high yield token, because its token something like $12 or $1,300, that reading their white paper and looking at the history and the, I believe it's the DAO of Maker, that if you're interested in that kind of thing, how to have a token that holds its value over time, that Maker would be a good place for you to start reading their white paper, looking at their price charts, and learning from what has worked.
All right, Maker, that'll
Because there
be
aren't many tokens that
$500
are
for
over
market.
$1,000.
Yeah. No, okay. I'm going to check into it more. It's just something stood out about it. So that's interesting that you actually have some knowledge on it because I was about to go read on it. I don't know why it can't. Like, I was just looking through, I just set up a new, like, bank account and brokerage account and
And
things like that. And
For whatever
the
reason, I
last
thought
I
you
was
guys
looking
knew
at, they
about
had a
it already.
cryptocurrency, like, kind of feature. And so I was looking through, and that was one of the ones that were on there.
the
And I
last
was,
thing that I want to bring up is on the Sui blockchain. They have options. So I've been
Mhm.
doing small trades on like Deep Book, Walrus token, and stuff like that. Like trading $2 and making a dollar. Like I had a $12 trade and made $8 in like 4 hours. Uh, it's really low cost, but anyways, you can get on there and you can trade options, and basically you can trade options that hold for the hour that are like leveraged 2, 3, 4, and 500%.
Oh my God, dude. Are you
And
serious?
it's super cheap. So if you get on the Slush wallet, and
Bro, you
then
just said options on the hour. I don't care how much it costs.
yeah, well
I'm gonna run a bag today.
yeah. So you get the website is Typhus,
Come on, dude.
and it's inside the Slush wallet.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's Typhus, Typhus. So you
I
download the
bet
Slush.
everybody's writing this shit down right now. I know I am.
Yeah, and I mean they have options that are like
You just said options on
500
the
and
hours.
something
It's like,
leverage,
boom. Yeah, let's get it.
550 leverage,
What?
and you just hold it for the hour.
Hold on. So I can 500 leverage. So wait, 500% leverage?
Well, no, 500 times leverage. Yeah,
Oh my God, that's even better.
yeah,
So
and
500 times the leverage on the hour?
yeah, on the hour.
Is
And
there a
whenever you
minimal amount? Like, is there like a minimum amount to invest or
I,
what?
I'm doing their tutorial on YouTube. They have some small tutorials that tell you about the call, the put, and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not wanting to just go in there and gamble, so I'm still doing the tutorials. I can't really answer that.
No, I just need to know how the process. Like I already know how puts and calls and longs and shorts and in the money, and I know how all that shit
Yeah,
works. I
I believe that there's
I
no
want to
minimum.
know.
I
Yeah,
believe
I'm
the
No
familiar
minimum.
minimum.
with those
Oh
those
shit, it's
terms.
over with.
I
It is
believe the
over
minimum
with,
is
bro.
like 0.01 of a token,
Oh my god, this is
or
crazy.
that's how it is when you're
I'm
trading.
so
Like
excited right
if
now.
you're trading Sol, it's 0.01 Sol is the minimum, which is like
It's not that much.
yeah, it's like $1. You know,
That's cool. That's cool,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's a super huge money making opportunity for those of you who do know how options work and want to do it in decentralized finance. I thought I'd share that
That's pretty
just
cool.
because I don't
Why
know
do
how
I
to
not
do it
give a
yet.
damn
I'm
about
not going to
money
be
but
the
get so excited
gatekeeper.
about making it? Isn't
But
that
I've
weird?
taken on Sui, I've taken less than $600, and now I'm sitting at about 1,300 between trading spot and DeFi loans.
Hold on, how much did you start with?
Uh, just a little bit under 600, and I'm over 1,300 right now, and it's only been like what, a week. Whenever I put out that first video,
So
Chris.
doubled in a week, and that's on top of like your job and all the other shit that you got going on. You know, like all those videos and shit that you put out, and then
Yeah, so
that's a
my
lot.
folks went from 8,000 to almost 13,000 in the last 2 weeks.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Now I
pretty
still
good.
owe against it, but that's my
Well,
collateralized.
yeah, but it's still your collateral's building. That's a
Yeah,
plus.
but I've got something like
And then what are you
28
doing with
sold.
that money that you borrow against the collateral? If you know it, like if I don't care if I
I've
put a
been
thousand
buying
dollars
T
collateral
gold.
and I borrowed $600, and then I took that 600 and put it into another investment, and that shit fucking 10x. I am not worried about that little bit of money that I got to pay back on that little
Oh
tiny
yeah,
little ass
another
loan.
thing too is on folks. If y'all are on folks and you're holding Algorand in your collateralized loans, switch it to Xalgo and you'll get like 2 or 3 more%
Yeah,
yield on your deposits for
yeah.
or
Then
your
you can take that X
collateralization.
algo and stake that in like an ultra stake or a leverage
Yeah,
loan,
well, I'm doing
and
that, but I've got it. I have. They don't let you
you building it.
collateralize
Yeah,
it and ultra
I'm
stake it.
running it in my regular loans and shit too. But
Yeah,
I like I cycle that shit through. Like I'll literally transaction fees from one loan I'll place into another loan and then use that loan to borrow whatever collateral I need in the first loan that I got the transaction fees to fund that one in.
and a
Does
lot
that
of
make
people don't
sense?
realize that the highest inflow of stable coins of any blockchain right now is SUI by percentage.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. It's kind of like
Yeah,
just what was it last year? Like I think Algorand it was like it was down, it was
number
going
five
down
or
and down and
something.
down, and then all of a sudden just some angel, bro, just some random, just regular old dude just dropped 350,000 or $350 million worth of USDC into it, and then it shot up like to like 50 cents, and it's like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but we
That was
all
pretty
need to
amazing.
be really careful that that's run, that we're not being greedy and seeking the very top, and that
Yeah,
we
dude.
switch out to stables a little early.
Y'all need to be aware of that all the time. Don't ever get greedy,
Yeah, because December
right? There's
20th
no
got
need
me.
for it.
I
There's no need
changed
for greed.
$100 of cat tokens into 2,000, and I got caught in a 2,000% APY farm, and I was like, "There's 5 or 6 more days worth of the farm. I'm gonna keep going." And I talked to Chris about it. I was like, "Chris, I'm gonna ride this out." And he said, "Whatever, dude." and it dropped down, and I ended up selling my cat tokens for $400. I rode 2,000 down to 400. I still profited 300, but still I lost 1,700 unrealized profits. And
Yeah.
then for
I
what?
I made that mistake one time, and it was crazy. And this was on some stocks. I'd set my order and everything, and it sold. I made money, right? Like I won exactly. I couldn't be mad at all. but I sold it like $5, and that shit shot up to like 11, almost $12, right? Like right there at this. I mean, as soon as it sold the order, I was like, hell yeah. And then it went at 6. I was like, damn, I could have went 7. Oh shit. 8,
But you got to be happy
9.
with the
I was
5.
like, oh my God. And I was so mad that the next day I did, I got my rules and shit, and I don't go against them. But I was so like still upset at the money I had missed. You know what I mean? I still
FOMO
made
got them.
money, right? I still made plenty of money. I won, but I fucked up the very next day because of that. I set the order, and right when it was about to fill, I changed it, and that shit shot straight down, man. It was terrible, bro. I lost everything that I'd invested that day, plus everything that I'd made the day before, all because it was like that FOMO shit, that fear of missing out. It's like, man, fuck all that, bro. I'm gonna play it
Yeah,
safe.
be
I'm gonna
happy with
keep
your
the
goal.
bag I got, and if I make some, great. But I ain't finna lose none.
Yeah, be happy
Man,
with
it's
your
holding on
goal.
to money. Making it's easy. I can make money all day long, right?
So
Holding on to that
I heard
shit's the
this.
part.
I heard this Muslim scholar say this, that the only reason why there's poverty in the world is because those who are super wealthy took more than their fair share. Be
That's
happy
it.
with your goal, and don't let the FOMO corrupt you, and don't let the greed overtake you. Traditional finance, you could be doing 5% over inflation, and here we are worried that we only got a 5x. Let's
Yeah,
not be those people.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Very well
It
said.
goes back to gratitude, right? I feel
Yeah,
like when you have gratitude, you get more of it, right? It multiplies. So I'm really grateful for the education and the knowledge and the position you all have definitely helped me elevate into so far in this year. And just feeling like it's only the very beginning and some of the knowledge that we've like been able to kind of grow and instill in others as well from this. I think it's a springboard. I feel like we'll even be able to look back on this and gain insight. You know what I'm saying, on some of the things that we've said. And as things play out, you feel me? I'm really excited to see how it grows as a community. So shout out to everybody, you feel me? Appreciate everybody,
yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
we
to
appreciate
everybody
you.
Definitely
affiliated with
appreciate everybody.
Wav3 and Block Cycle and everything, man. Honestly, I'm proud of the whole team, bro. Everybody involved. Like I ain't got nothing bad to say about none of them. Except me. You know what I'm saying?
I got something bad to say. Chris,
No, I beat
took my
myself
gym
up. That's how I
shorts,
keep getting better.
and I want them back.
Yeah, it's still about them damn gym shorts, bro.
That I didn't
Nah,
mind.
you guys are awesome, man. The community's the best thing we got, right? Like all of us are great on our own. We're all unique. We all have our individual, talents and skills and understandings and perspectives and intellectual property, right? But when you use that together and it's like a free exchange of that shit, or not, it doesn't necessarily have to be a free exchange. Though. It's got to be an equal exchange. That's
Quid
that's the
pro
only thing that
quo.
matters. If there's an equal exchange of just knowledge and effort, then the money shit is just irrelevant at that point. And when you get to an understanding of that concept, the money doesn't matter to you like that. And so you get it, right? That's why all the poor people don't trust nobody, don't work with nobody, or don't tell nobody. I'm gonna stay locked up in my house and I ain't letting nobody know what I got going on. And y'all all poor, bro. All sitting in your own little individualized little box and bubble, not trying to fuck with nobody. And then you look it around. What are the rich people doing, bro? What are the wealthy people doing? They're fucking going to balls and dinner banquets and hosting huge parties and going to these huge events, and everybody's getting together with a bunch of people that speak different languages and have different cultures and different religions, different viewpoints, and they're all talking. They're all going to these same places, these huge fucking events, right? Y'all stuck at home with you and maybe your wife and a kid, or maybe you ain't got none of that. Maybe it's just you and your buddy. And what are you doing? You're watching this little box by yourself, thinking about how broke you are while you ain't got shit, watching all these rich people out here mingling, right? It's very simple.
And don't get caught up watching us. I mean,
Right.
you
Get
listen,
out
you
there
hear
and talk to
something,
some people like
you
us.
you hear us say some shit, spark your interest, go try the shit. Do something.
Do
Wisdom is
some
knowledge
shit, right? Get
applied.
it. Yeah. The best thing I could tell you, bro, is to go put yourself in an uncomfortable situation around people you know nothing about. But
Yeah,
y'all ain't gonna do it because y'all
yeah.
crave comfortability.
Gotta learn how
Not
to
sustain. Yeah,
become
it's not
comfortable,
even really
uncomfortable.
sustainability. It's not even sustainability, bro. It's comfortability over everything, especially at least in America, for sure.
Gotta find
So
yourself in
live that
a
cushy life and
position that
raise
make
them
you like,
cushy
holy
kids. And
shit, how am I supposed to figure this out? That's where you need to be at.
well, that's kind of the thing. It's like y'all ain't doing nothing. So when some real shit happens, which it will, I mean, how many times do you got to watch history about war, genocide, empires crumbling? Like, if you think that nothing bad's ever going to happen, you ain't really going to have to work that hard. Yeah, you're going to find out how hard you got to work. You could have just put a little effort in along the way and not even had to worry about it because you'd have been prepared.
It's
Right.
all about
So
positioning, man. You know what I mean? And make sure
ultimately,
you look, make sure you downloading the right information. Make sure you feeding your
that's
brain the right information, man. And position yourself if you can't do anything else.
yep.
Now I got a serious question. So,
Yep.
what really is hard effort? Because me, I just feel like you either just try or you don't. I don't know that I've
That's a
ever
good
really
point.
just tried hard. It's either I've tried or I didn't.
That's a good point. But I will
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
this, and that's ironic that you would say that because I've been to the gym with you and I've watched you lift tremendous amounts of weight, right? So I've seen you try harder than you do sometimes. But I that's an interesting way that you
Yeah.
think about it. Because I mean, I can't disagree with you, right?
Well, me and you both
Because
have a
honestly, there's
natural
nothing I've
ability
ever
to
said
do
I was going
things.
to do and actually tried and not did. So maybe I agree and disagree because I know sometimes I'm trying and then like I'm like, oh shit, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And then I'm like, nah, you gonna make it, you better,
I
and so I
mean,
give it that
I
extra
can I
little,
can
that little
Well,
push
I can see
through.
what he's
Come on,
talking
bro.
about
You about
because
5, 6 rounds
if
in,
you
on the kicks.
if you
Yeah,
attempting something that's foreign to you for the first time, that first attempt, that first try is extremely hard anyway.
that's a good point. So would you say it's harder to take the leap
Yep.
or
It's harder to
or
take the
like
leap.
or like sustain the fall?
It's harder to take the leap.
Take the lead for
I
sure.
think sustain the fall. Because me being
I would
somebody
have
that
to
has
agree with just
a
me and
natural
my
ability,
personality. I'll jump out there real quick. It's holding on and keeping that shit like, you know what I'm saying? Making sure I got my toes pointed down and shit
Right.
and like before I hit the water type shit, you know?
me and Chris
Yeah.
have
Like,
been
'cause it's kind of
lifelong
easy to
friends,
fall, really.
I
and
was
we've always been able to accomplish things usually first or second try.
Yeah.
And when we are faced with an obstacle that we're struggling with, it's a lot harder when you're used to the W to
Yeah.
sustain the fall. Because
Yeah.
I am used to the W. If I decide I'm going to do something, I will win.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. And if I can't do it by myself, I know who
I'm
to
gonna find
call to
somebody.
make sure it gets done.
Yeah.
right.
So it's
Yeah.
real hard for me to keep because I'm like, oh well,
Yeah. It's
maybe
hard for
it's
me to
just
accept
not
defeat.
God's will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
I just blame him. You
Well,
know what I
I don't
mean?
want it. I'm out.
Yeah. I just blame him for everything.
That's what everybody
Man,
does, bro. He's
I
so
Yeah.
know.
fucking mad.
He
He's
I'm
gets
like,
he gets some of the
you
credit, but
people are
he gets
so
all the blame.
unappreciative of all the hard work I put into this.
sustaining a fall is crazy.
It is, man.
Cause
It
I'm
is. Well,
always
that's why most people don't make it.
talking about because I'm always off the bounce back. I don't
Yeah,
I got it. I'm going to hit something and bounce back.
you got
To
to. You
continue
got to hit
falling,
something and bounce back, or
sustaining the
flatten
fall.
out and die.
I'm not about to do that.
Mm-mm.
I'm a
And
flat
I'm not
wings
gonna. I'm
grab
not.
on
I'm not
something.
gonna
God
be a
damn it.
coward over anything, right? Because that's crazy. You're a coward. You die like all the time, every day,
Yeah, that's
every
crazy,
little
bro.
day. Yes, it's
I'm
like
trying to
to
wrap my
me.
head around that. Like, what? You
I know
just
it is
what?
crazy to just wake up every day and just accept defeat. It's totally different to wake up every day and do some shit you don't want to do or that you don't really necessarily like because there's a purpose or a point behind it, or it's building character, or you're learning something, or there's some purpose to it. Even if it is just like my understanding of how shit works right now makes me feel like I have to go do this for this. I can get that, and because I was once like that too. It's like I'm gonna go do whatever I have to do because I have to have this money to support my family. So I
Right.
get it, but there's got to be like points, purpose to shit you do.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know.
It's
It's so
like
crazy to just wake up every day and just accept defeat. No
no,
purpose. You're
don't
just
do
like,
that.
World
Listen,
domination
don't
hours.
wake up and do that. We don't accept that. Like if you thinking that way right now, just leave.
right, kind
Right
of.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Respectfully, just get the hell out.
Yeah, because we
Because
don't
I don't know.
and bang with
I
those
probably
types.
have a biased opinion in this because, like, I'm not a very sympathetic. I'm very empathetic. Like, I feel people's pain. If you're struggling and suffering and hurting, like, I'm gonna feel a little bit of that, even if I don't know. I can't just sit there and watch somebody go through some shit and not try to do something to help,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
I get that, but I ain't got sympathy for nobody, bro. Oh, my daddy wouldn't hear this. Shit, mine either. You know what I'm saying?
Or
It's drugs, and it's like, man, get
right.
out of here with all them
Welcome to
excuses.
90% of the world, bastard.
That's it. Yeah, what are you talking about? Ain't none of us got no daddies. Shit. Even the ones that got daddies ain't got daddies because they ain't fucking real daddies. They ain't real men no more. It's like crazy. You got fucking men, women raising little boys and expecting them to turn out like men. Fuck
and
out of
not
here.
not
Or
and not and
respectfully,
not not
women, you are
not
amazing. Women
disrespecting
are
any of these
amazing,
guys
bro.
that
The most
lost like
beautiful thing ever.
dramatically
Gods,
lost your pop or
goddesses.
no shit like that. You feel what I'm
We
saying?
don't know how to teach
No
no man.
disrespect to you guys that lost your pops and no shit like that. But we're talking
Right.
about the
I'm talking about
live
the
and
ones that are
the
that
ones
are
that are
supposed
alive
to
and
be a
welling
man.
and just not didn't want to be there. Fuck it. Those niggas.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that kid. It's like, what? What do you mean? This is like literally, that's a part of you, right? So if you don't care about your own damn kid, I know you ain't caring about nobody else, right? And kind of think about it. If you don't care about your side, your child, your seed, this is your legacy. This is you. It's a part of you. You don't care about yourself. So if you could literally like bring life into a person and then be like, I don't give a fuck about that.
All right, y'all, I'm out of here.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna
Yo,
leave everybody on
Peace,
that
peace
note
and
Edward.
too.
love, Nate.
All right, see you.
Yeah, appreciate the sauce, bro. I'm definitely gonna hit that suey shit up for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a slushy wallet to send.
I know. I'm gonna get me a big old whole fucking flushy. You know what? Actually, I really do gotta go finish fixing this car. I already got the parts. I just gotta go put it together.
You already, family. Peace and love, man.
Yeah, man.
Be
Peace and love to
easy.
everybody.
Stay safe.
Definitely.
I
You
mean,
guys want to go
make
ahead
sure
and plug
y'all
some shit
like
before you bounce?
and subscribe, man.
Yeah, like and subscribe for sure. We had to do a new Facebook page, so it's the Wave Maker page now because they banned old one. So
Mozzie Make on
yeah, like and
YouTube.
subscribe.
Naeem
Yeah,
Bowick on Facebook. Voices for the
yeah.
Voiceless, June 24th, New
Yes, yes.
Jersey. You
Whole
feel what I'm
event,
saying?
man. That's
So
gonna be dope, bro.
rock with us.
It's gonna be dope. I'm wondering, yes, June 24th, you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of time. I might be able to make it out there.
Hey, let
Definitely.
me know.
Yeah, we'll talk
That'd be
about
lit.
that. We might try to make that work. That'd be pretty fire. And then we could get into the studio like together. Oh, the energy, that'd be so dope.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all have a good one.